cats in this game? Yes.
Woo!
Hey!
We're trying again.
Hi, everybody!
Hello.
So, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us. I believe that when my internet decided to be the devil and rudely interrupted us, Alan was in the middle of introducing himself. So please tell us about yourself, Alan.
Which Alan? This Alan?
No,
That
you.
Alan?
Wild Wolf Alan.
My name is Alan Engelson. I am going to be playing a Russian blue cat named Snowball.
Aww, what a good cutie. All right, so you've all sent me your lines and veils. I really appreciate that. And it looks like we have pretty much all of the same things. So I'm going to go over some of my table rules with you, and I think you should all be pretty fine with them. We are not having any sexual assault, sexual violence of any kind.
Oh wait, Jess, chat
Yeah?
is saying they didn't hear any of the intros.
Any of the intros.
We all get to take two.
All right. Hey, chat. It's been a night. I'm Jess. I'm a writer, and I love cats and dogs. I am your guide animal for Pugmire with this lovely crew of people. And our wonderful Gwendy is out sick tonight, but she will be joining us. And now I'm going to let this lovely crew introduce themselves, starting with Lynn, or I guess we started with Alan, but now going to Lynn.
So, hi everybody. My name is Lynn Meyer, and you probably know me best from Uncaged, for which I'm a writer and an editor. I'm the other half of a pair of corgis. Gwendy B is my sibling. So I am Baguette. Gwendy B is my brother Bagel, and we're going to work out the details a bit more on that tonight as we go. So. And you can find me on Twitter at Lynn_M_Meyer. So, who's next?
You'll have the bagel soon.
Yes.
All right. And then on my other side, how about Kat?
Hi,
Who plays the
Cat,
dog?
playing the dog. Damn it, you got in before me. Curses. Yeah, I'm Kat. I'm a writer for mostly Uncaged, I guess, but also various D&D projects, Godlands projects, and I'm also going to be the DM for a Scion game right here on Twitch TV/the Onyx Path on Saturday. More plugs later. Tonight I am the small, feisty, yet completely adorable Lilia Cavalier.
And how about Ashley?
Hi, I'm Ashley May. I'm a writer on the Dungeon Masters Guild, and I've also been privileged to do some writing with Onyx Path Press before. I'm going to be playing Phil tonight. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be playing, but it's going to be some kind of a good dog. You can find more of my stuff on Twitter at Ashley May Writes.
And last but not least, Alan.
Well, you had one, Alan. Time for the second. Hi, I'm Alan Johnson. I'm also at Gnarler Jenkins on Twitter. I'm a writer for the DM's Guild, a voice actor, and assortment of other fun things. And tonight, I'm going to be putting together a greyhound, who I plan on having being a nervous wreck, as they are wont to be.
All right, so that is the team. And so, like I said, I've got everybody's lines and veils, violence and sexual assault, and also Onyx Path basically asks that we just not be sexing doggos or kitties at all because it gets kind of weird. So
Very
we're
valid, I
gonna
think.
keep it clean in that way. Also, we are not going to have any violence towards people's eyeballs. And we're not going to have any birds flying at people's faces. And we're going to be cautious with portrayals of dementia and things like that. And as ever, if ready to have the safe table. So does that sound good?
So,
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. All right. So Pugmire and Monarchies of Mao have a pretty simple character creation system. It's a lot like 5e. So the first thing that you do, it sounds like you've already picked your breed. Did all of y'all access the PDF that I sent out in the Discord, the fillable PDF that let you enter in stuff?
Character sheet. Yep.
Okay, cool. So if you want, we can get started with that. I know Gwendy's corgi is going to be a hunter,
yes.
and that
Nice.
is about all I know. So if you have something in mind, tell me about your characters.
Sounds like we all got some ideas at least. Hopefully.
Yes.
Like what class do you want to play? I know, Ashley, we can come to you last.
Yes.
Alan the kitty. Yeah. So if you know what kind of calling you want to be, like if you want to be a stray or a guardian, let's talk about it. And then we can get to, how y'all know each other and what we're doing adventuring and why you're hanging out with this weird cat.
Well, I'll say I think I'm starting to lean towards Stray,
Okay.
which is definitely going to be an interesting pick for a Greyhound. But because what I'm envisioning now is my cat.
I like that you are playing your cat as a dog.
I love it so much.
Thank you, Katsanova. 1 second.
Okay.
I love Katsanova.
Casanova's so cute.
Oh yes.
Y'all are in for a treat in the stream to see Casanova.
There's
That's
so
what
many
Alex
animals.
Yeah, I think all of us have pets that are going to photobomb the stream.
Yeah,
constantly.
raise your hand if you don't have a pet just off screen right now.
He's literally right behind the screen, menacing.
Oh, yeah, Tony is lying on my feet right now.
And my
Right.
Russian blue is right next to me, so.
Oh,
This came about 5 seconds ago before the
Okay.
stream started. I felt
so
a tongue on my ankle.
So,
okay, so Alan, you're thinking a stray for your greyhound?
Yes, I like the mental image of a really thin dog having a great sword that's almost as big as it is. So
I love it so much. All right, so Lynn, what can you tell me about Bagel and Baguette and your history? You can speak for Gwendy since she is not here.
right? Well, we kind of decided, I mean, we're twins, so there's sibling energy here. And we talked a little bit about what that means. So, of course, I'm the older twin.
Okay.
It may only be by like a minute, but I'm the older twin. And so, okay. I felt really called to being a shepherd.
Okay.
So Beckett is female and Bagel is male. So we got that little dynamic going, and we kind of joked about it being kind of like a nerd and a jock dynamic. Broadly
I
speaking,
love that.
kind of broadly speaking. So I know for me, I was thinking about the sage background for my shepherd. That we had lost our mother when we were younger, and that my way of finding answers was to turn to faith and searched through tomes and texts. And my brother's way was to go out and fight monsters.
Right.
So we have different ways
So
of
what?
coping. Different ways of coping with the same loss, but we have that bond with each other.
I love that. Is your father still alive, or your other parent?
I don't know. We hadn't talked about that, so
Okay.
that might be a surprise.
Oh, your dogs. I was about to say a Schrodinger's cat.
We don't speak of this Schrodinger.
Right? Right?
Plague on our people.
Or was he?
So, as a shepherd, what are your feelings on the Code of Man? Which I guess I should read for the audience. I will read that for everybody tuning in. The tenets of man. And Kat Allen is going to have a different feeling on this because in Mal they have different thoughts on man. But be a good dog, obey the master, bite only those who endanger you, defend your home,
Right.
stay loyal to those that are true,
Yes.
protect all from the unseen, and fetch what has been left behind.
Yes. So I was thinking that for Baguette, her main ideal was to protect all from the unseen. That ideal of protection was very big for her. And that's part of what drew her to the faith and to the church and trying to find answers. But at the same time, I decided that
And
her
I forgot to ask our Greyhound, what are your thoughts on the Code of Man?
I mean, they sound like pretty good tenets to live by, except for the, well, fetching things that are left behind, because that could be scary, and the protecting people, because that could be scary, and pretty much all the ones that sound scary, really.
poor nervous dog.
But on the whole, love them to death. Just not for me.
Just not for you.
Sounds good in theory.
And have
Theoretically
you picked a
fine.
background for your Greyhound?
I'm thinking of a background for him now. It's kind of a tough one because part of me wants to go the noble route and just have him be
Ooh.
a really noble, but also really nervous noble boy. But come back to me in like 5 minutes and I'll have that.
Yeah, that's not a problem. And I remember Gwendy had wanted basically like, I forget, it's like folk hero. Common folk. That was it.
Yeah,
her.
yeah, that sounds right. That's what we had talked about.
Bagel, a dog of the people.
Yeah, it's like, we didn't come from noble stock at all, as it were, but Bagel found fame fighting monsters, and Baguette went off into the church. So
I would love to hear about Lilia Cavalier.
Yeah, you would. Everybody would love to hear about Lilia Cavalier. Oh my God, why were we even talking about other dogs?
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Lilia is from a very, very refined noble family because the Cavaliers are an excellent and very well-bred lineage. She is, however, something of a black sheep amongst her family of very mild-mannered companion dogs. She is a ratter, and she goes from the glamorous world of noble dog soirees and events by day to being a jewel thief by night.
Ooh.
Because it's really boring otherwise. All your noble dogs are just boring. The strays and the mutts are where it's at. I don't entirely know what my background is going to be, but I do know that the Code of Man is kind of like, it's something for less noble dogs. She likes the guard your home part, and she likes the bite those who endanger you part, but What is a mastiff? Really? Like when you think about it.
Oh, we're going to have so many interesting conversations. It's going to be great.
I love it. I love it so much. All right. And let's just go to our kitty. And
Yes, now that we've gotten some of the dogs out of the way.
And cats have a different perspective for those in the chat on the idea of man being mythos. Cats are of the opinion that man used to serve them. And it's very odd that to them that, you know, dogs worship man and don't worship them. So the code of Mao, as the monarchies are organized, is always trust your instincts, always pounce upon minions of the unseen, always reward loyalty, and always respect an honest duel.
I liked all of those
So,
except for
what are
an
your kitty
honest
thoughts
duel.
on that?
An honest duel, I don't think is necessary. I'm definitely going to be from the house Shadow Block. And my kitty is going to be a wanderer for its calling. My background is a criminal.
Nice. I think you will get along well with Lilia.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And what about your thoughts on the Shadow Block's motto of always seek vengeance?
Vengeance is necessary.
Necessary?
Very necessary.
All right. I like it. Yes, always seek vengeance. So for those of you who just know Pugmire and don't know Mao, whereas Pugmire is a whole bunch of dogs who kind of live in a kingdom, although the hounds live slightly outside sometimes. The cats are less likely to get along and they live in different houses. And the Shadow Block are a bunch of non-house affiliated cats who have decided to band together and just now got voting rights. And they're kind of not happy about being left out for so long. So, how do you feel about dogs?
They're dogs. That's a start.
Okay.
It's pretty fair, actually.
They're not all terrible. Though the ones with honor seem to be a problem for me, but the other ones not so much.
I foresee so much stress in Baguette's future. So, do you maybe know Lilia from your thieving days?
We have crossed paths, I can almost guarantee.
Okay.
Yeah, that cat has a very high opinion of itself.
Don't all cats?
Gotcha there.
Might be the only one Lilia's ever met.
Lilia doesn't go to the cat quarter very often.
She likes to slum it, but she doesn't want fleas.
Also, she doesn't want to be known as a cat burglar.
Ooh.
Oh.
We're getting these puns in early.
Say that like it's ever gonna stop.
That's considered an honor among thieves to be a cat burglar.
I'm sure it is where you come from.
So, Alan, does your kitty have a name?
Snowball.
Oh, right, you said that. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I wrote it down, and then it got morphed into my other thing. And Greyhound, Alan, do you have a name yet for your Greyhound?
I do. I think his name. Ooh, That's the mute button. That's not the right button. I think his name is going to be Grimly Greyhound
Oh,
because I'm a sucker for alliteration.
I like it.
And I think I got his background too. I think he's a merchant boy. In fact, he used to be a pretty good merchant on account of the fact that he was always happy to run shipments and orders, but then something real bad happened, and now that's why he's a stray, because he got the heck out of Dodge. And he's nervous all the time because his business went upside because of bad business.
Mm.
The heck out of Doge.
Oh.
I should have seen that one coming.
And now he's hanging out with two thieves.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're trustworthy. Probably. They're the nice kind of thieves.
Right.
Still a good dog.
So
Yeah.
I think I have composed an idea while I was listening to everybody else.
Do tell me.
Priscilla Plot is a plot hound, which is a kind of pointer. And she's a
Aw.
partisan of the sage background.
Ooh.
Because we need some magics in this group.
You're right.
We've got a healer and a magician.
Yes. We need magics of
And
the
what's it-
destructive kind.
So since she is a sage and Baguette is also a sage, did you two know each other at school?
Ooh, I did not realize that.
Hmm.
Maybe. Probably crossed paths at least a few times in various researching.
You know, libraries are big, and you know, I'm sure we run in the same scholarly circles on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Your magic studies just kind of took you in two different directions.
Yeah.
Yep.
The more destructive kind.
Oh.
It's like, oh, you're into
And,
that
like-
kind of magic? Oh, okay. Different majors.
Probably didn't spend a lot of time talking. Priscilla has some interesting ideas on the Church of Man.
Oh, I want to hear.
The whole tenets of man, the rules of man, they sound very nice, but who do we really have to trust in these? All these things are being told to us by the Church of Man, and it's like, why are they getting to decide that these are all the rules that are being passed down? This is what they're saying was man's will. Well, we don't know man's will until we go into that ruin and find something that has man's will written on it. So let's go into that ruin.
Nah.
Oh, we are going to be friends.
I feel like Bagel would be really into that too, honestly.
And Baguette will just be like, just be careful. Okay.
People that think it's interesting artifacts.
So now this brings up, I'm glad that you mentioned ruins and artifacts because you have a kitty in your group. Generally, dogs and cats treat artifacts from man or people differently in that dogs study them and improve them, whereas cats smash them to the ground and absorb their power.
Oh boy.
I
I kind of already pictured Priscilla having some thoughts on cats too. Like, they're all right as long as they don't decide to knock a priceless artifact off of a table for grins and giggles.
not just for giggles, for power.
Also very valid.
Without
What's
breaking
wrong
it.
with doing stuff for giggles? Ask him for a friend.
You get plenty of giggles without breaking things.
But is that really as fun?
Exactly.
Whose side are you on?
We all have some bad influences in our lives. And it's that cat.
I need to practice my growl. I can tell right now I need to practice my growl.
See, this is going to be a thing because on one hand he is a cat, but on the other he isn't. He is another Alan.
As a fellow Alan, I concur.
Alan's got to stick together.
Solidarity.
Yeah. Especially with the right spelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. So, what is this odd assortment of dogs and cats doing together? How did you all meet?
I don't know, but I think my shepherd is going to drink a lot, maybe eventually, because she's going to have a lot of work ahead of her.
I think Grimly's the type who's fallen into some hard times and has dealt with some bad company, so he's just desperately looking for some people he can at least hang out with and trust for a while.
Okay.
All right. Going into what I'm doing with dogs. While I was with my people, I had done a favor for the Meowthia. And I was rejected by my people. And so I am now traveling with some less than likely companions.
Is the Meowthia out to get you?
That's for me to know.
It must be for me to bring up.
I have a feeling that Bagel probably is the one who knew all of you first, and I got to know you because of my brother, because you all seem to have much more similar interests to Bagel. Just saying. Because you know how it is when your sibling has friends who come over and you're kind of like, oh, okay, I guess I'll start hanging out with them too. I kind of think that happened. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go check up on my sibling to make sure they're okay. I'm gonna travel with you too.
It's more like I can't leave you alone with these people.
Yeah, no, this may not be safe. I think I'm gonna travel. And oh, what are you doing with that artifact? Oh, wait. Okay, well,
Oh, it's almost certainly not safe.
yeah. Oh, well, maybe I'll help you with that too. Okay, I'll be a good influence. Maybe.
Someone has to be.
Yes.
Poor Baguette.
Yeah.
Clearly, I am the best influence.
So if
Well,
the
Sure.
Mafia shows up, we let him take him, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Hmm.
this is going to be so interesting.
Oh no.
And I mean,
Where did Jess go?
oh no, did we lose our DM again?
No.
No.
Curse you,
All right.
internets!
It
I'm
was
going to take this moment to knock down everything off the table.
This is what I was afraid of.
I'm gonna tell. In the code somewhere, probably.
No, this'll
utter
give me-
chaos.
Oh right, we're using standard array, aren't we?
Yes.
Right.
And all of our video windows are everywhere.
Ah!
I think I already can anticipate which of my stats will be the lowest, because poor Baguette has just been really much more interested in studying than going to gym class. So probably my strength is not going to be my best stat.
It's okay. I'm a greyhound with a strength of 15.
Ooh.
Nice. I mean, I weigh like 10 pounds. My strength is not high.
It's like one of those really thin dogs. They're just like muscle packed under the fur.
Yeah.
Just
So I love that we have a Russian blue cat, because that's one of my favorite breeds. I've had 2 in my life, and they're wonderful, but they're very smart.
I'm so sorry.
Returns.
Welcome back.
I knocked everything off the table.
I know.
It's pretty bad.
I'm so sorry. It hates me, and I messed up the whole picture, so I'm really sorry, Charlotte.
Hey, me and Ashley are sharing a window now.
I'm
Hi,
Jess
guys.
now.
I'm so sorry, and I'm sorry, chat. My internet is just miserable tonight.
Look at me. I am the DM now.
You're the guide dog. Okay. So what were you talking about?
We were talking about how we all know each other.
Okay, so tell me.
I mean, I think we've established that we're a bunch of shady weirdos who get into trouble a lot and cross paths, right?
Okay.
I think I'm gonna have to go with the assumption that just initially starting out, I don't think I just know how shady you guys are. I'm just like, yeah, they seem pretty cool. And then only like 2 or 3 times I'm like, oh no.
Sorry, thing. At least Spaghetti is here to give you faith.
Yeah, we'll hang out together a lot and
Spaghetti is a
go,
decent
oh
person.
no.
We are very cool. Now you lead the way into that cave.
So would Grimly have maybe hired Bagel and Baguette as a guide?
I
And Bagel brought all of his friends along.
You know, I can definitely see that. Just being like, well, you seem trustworthy, so just go get some nice, trustworthy friends. And then you show up with this lot. I'm like, cool. Neato.
And so Grimly, you don't go into Pugmire very often, do you? Since you're a stray now.
Yeah, it's that's where all the best business would be, but after having some bad experience, I need some time to just not be around people in the city, if possible.
Okay, but you're relatively new to being a stray.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a new experience for me.
All right. So I think Snowball might be good for you because Snowball is basically the cat equivalent of stray. That face.
Yeah, I mean, he's the cat equivalent of a cat. Not that I hold any sort of prejudice or stereotypes against cats, but
We'll get along just fine.
Yeah, best friends. Cat and a dog out to not get robbed or killed or anything.
I'm also pretty sure I only come up to like half your size.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you're a greyhound.
Greyhounds are real long dogs.
I think you're the biggest dog. Oh no, wait, no. Priscilla is also pretty big, right?
Bloodhounds are kind of medium sized.
Okay.
But 20 to 23 inches at the withers for females.
Okay. I need to look into them. Of course, you're all like human-sized dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like our Cavaliers probably still pretty itty bitty.
Yeah, 26 to 30 inches. So and that's all just like a string dog.
Dog.
String dog.
It's like you put a dog through like a taffy stretcher and they're just long. It's all right. My initial thought was to go with a Borzoi because I really wanted the long face. Just. But
would have endorsed this, but it's fine. You have basically a Borzoi with no hair.
Yeah, like
and more anxiety.
It's like a budget Borzoi.
I thought about an Afghan hound just so I could have like the like Baywatch slow motion hair.
Oh, the flowing hair.
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, does Priscilla live in Houndton, or does she live in Pugmire, or?
She'd live in Pugmire.
She lives in Pugmire?
Where the good libraries are.
That's true. That is where the good college is. And I'm guessing Bagel and Baguette live like in Pugmire or in the outskirts thereof.
I think if it were up to Baguette, we'd be in Pugmire, but in reality, we go wherever Bagel's shenanigans take us. And so Baguette's just like, okay, fine. I will leave the library if it means going after you and keeping an eye on you.
Casanova. Sorry.
So
Sorry, continue.
No, but I think she'll venture out to wherever she needs to go, but her comfort zone is in the libraries of Pugmire.
Got it. And Lilia is almost definitely from Pugmire, the Shishiest district, correct?
Oh, of course, yes.
All right. Lilia, did you know Grimly back? Oh wait, no, Grimly was no longer a noble. But did you know Grimly back when he had a shop?
Good question. What did he sell?
Oh, just various sorts of high-end clothing,
Yes,
accessories.
That was all it took.
that's all I needed. Yes, she's very, very sad that one of her favorite stores is out of business. This sucks. She will redeem him.
Is that maybe how you tracked him down? You wanted to close that badly?
I mean, it was either that or rob his warehouse, so yeah.
I can't even get to my warehouse anymore.
Okay, cool. So my other question is, moving forward as a group, obviously I'm going to give you all of the fun in the world, but this is a pretty diverse group of dogs and cats. I'm wondering, are you more action adventure oriented, political oriented? How do you want your adventure to go? There's two grades, which makes me think a lot of like monster hunting, but we also have, some nobles and some merchants and a cat on the run from the Meowthia. And a shepherd, and shepherd is very tied into the ruling class. So, sorry, what was that, Ashley?
I'm really up for anything. Like any mix thereof. I am happy to do it all.
I was going to say a good mix sounds good to me because I mean, being a stray, I definitely want to hit some things with my body, but I also really want to put a greyhound into a lot of bad social situations. I do want that.
I want that for you. Yeah, I kind of want to see everything that you can do in Pugmire and just do all of it.
Right.
Yeah, really show it off.
Yeah. Especially seeing a cat interact with dogs who may not trust cats, I think would definitely be interesting.
We do have to go to Pugmire with our cats and be like, yeah, these are our cats. I hope you like them.
No, it's okay. They're the good ones.
You can't say that about cats.
You can't say that about anyone.
And
I mean, as cats, we may not be good boys. We're better.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
One of my favorite things I read in one of my favorite things in Pugmire that stuck out to me the first time I read it on cats was, just because someone is a cat doesn't mean he can't be a good dog.
Ain't that the truth?
I am so excited to delve into this world because the first time I ever saw Pugmire, I see these like adventures with dog heads out in the wilds. I'm like, what is this weird corny crap? And it's like, oh, you're playing as dogs, okay. And then I actually started reading the lore, and I started really getting into it and reading about like man left us these commandments and we rebuilt this world, and I'm reading it out loud, and I turn around and I look to my husband. He's got this look at his face as I read about the laws of man. He's like, oh my God. It's like so much depth and so much heart in the world of Pugmire. And it's like, I'm normally a strict homebrew person. Like even writing for DM Skill, trying to get into the Forgotten Realms has been a challenge for me because I love homebrewing everything. But the lore that comes with Pugmire is stunning, and I'm so excited to get into it.
And it's post-tech, which is like some of my favorite fantasy slash sci-fi.
It's right.
Yeah.
I actually was really happy that nobody had called Artisan yet, because the entire concept of finding lost technology but calling it magic is just so
It's
freaking
fantastic.
Cool.
It's an
Rad.
amazing narrative beat to go with. Admittedly, I came from the other end of things where I distinctly remember, I believe it was PAX Unplugged, where I just walked by the booth and saw, oh, so it's tabletop, but you play as dogs. Well, I have to buy this, and I immediately did. So, but then I read it, and it was actually fantastically written too, and I was like, wow, okay, now I actually have to play this.
Because the fact of the matter is, they could have coasted on it's 5th edition fantasy, but you get to play as dogs, but they did
Right.
so much more with it.
I really am excited about the religion aspect, but from the perspective of being a dog, figuring out the world of man, that imaginative twist is really interesting, because of course we're humans and we know what we think about dogs, but how would a dog try to reconstruct what humans used to be and who they were, and this idea of a moral code based around that, and that complexity, because one of the things I really like about role gaming are those ethical quandaries that we face.
Yes.
What does this mean in this situation? What does it mean in that situation? But then when you twist it around like that, what does it mean to be a good dog? What does it mean to be loyal? And then as we find these artifacts and try to understand them, I think that's a really interesting challenge, just imaginatively for me. And I'm a cat person anyway, not a dog person. So that's for me personally a little fun.
It's okay.
It's just, it was compelling for me on a lot of levels. And I've never played a cleric before. And it excited me so much that I thought I wanted to step outside of my comfort zone and engage with that specifically because it was so unusual. So I can't wait.
I also really love the concept of the unseen as the enemies, because there's kind of like this little bit of like fridge horror to it. Like you read about it and you're like, oh, the unseen, they're these demons you don't see, and then you walk away and you're not even thinking about the game, and later on it dawns on you, like all those times your dog or cat has just stared off in the corner and you're like, what are you looking at? And it's like, not the unseen.
Exactly.
And that was another one of the things that when I was reading the Pugmire lore just kind of grabbed me by the heart and yanked, was that whole thing of dogs going, did we fail to protect humans from the unseen? Is that why they're not here anymore? It's like, oh my God, oh, you're good dogs, it's okay.
Exactly.
It's much read the book, puppy.
But I love the concept where it's like the dogs think of the unseen as monsters that can be stopped, whereas the cats see the unseen in everything, and they know it's kind of just always around them, and that's why they're always on such high alert. And
The
that's
different
why
perspectives is so cool.
yeah, that's why they never really sleep. Speaking of cat perspectives, does Snowball, like some cats, believe that he has 9 lives?
Had 9 lives. I'm down to 8.
Okay.
That's going to be an interesting tidbit of backstory.
Yeah.
That's fun.
My first thought is this: the first time he tells us that, someone's gonna immediately want to test that theory out and be like, so if you still got 8 more.
You have 1 left. Wait, you've used 8, or you're down, or you've used 1?
I'm down 1. I still have 8.
Oh, okay.
Good to know in case
You
I'm out
remember
of spell
things from
slots.
your past life?
We can use them to set off traps.
Ooh.
Exactly 7 times.
Poor Snowball. I say that out of character because Priscilla will never say poor Snowball in character.
And I mean, it's baked into the
Fair.
name. Why did he call his character Snowball if he wasn't already planning for Snowball too? I see what you did.
Ooh.
So that actually brings up a good point. So Pugmire is similar, as you all noticed, to 5e in a lot of ways. But one thing is they make it a lot easier to come back from death saves. So it's just like if you succeed, you're back up. You don't really have a lot of hit points left, but you are back up. There is a way to play without death, and I wanted to know if you all don't want to die, because I know sometimes like animal death or hurting animals can be a trigger or upsetting for some people, but since we all are animals, it puts kind of a different thing on it. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Well, on one hand, I'm not a fan of, obviously, the dogs kicking the bucket and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I do appreciate the narrative potential of having that be something that could happen, a consequence. So I'm gonna field this one to them.
So I like my games really lethal, like way more lethal than 5e. Partly because I play really rash characters like Lilia, just rush in and do the dumb thing. I feel like there should be consequences for that type of play. So I'm more than happy if death's a possibility. But that said, it is a stream, and I don't necessarily want to be making a new character every month. So not like
It's true.
not like me murderers.
Right.
So when I first took an interest in Canis Minor, which is the community content program for Pugmire, I talked to Travis, and he was like, just remember, they're people, not dogs. They are dogs who are like people, not they are people who are dog-like, not dogs that are people-like.
Yeah.
And I think the example I used was like a noble in Pugmire will have like embroidery of a paw print on her sleeve, but she's not going to greet another noble by sniffing each other's butts. They're more humanoid with a coat of dog paint on them. So I tend to not get as affected by the, oh, don't hurt the doggy thing. I mean, I say that now, but depending on how things play out, that might be a little different. I'm not a big fan of the revolving door of characters. Like, I don't like the idea of having to keep a stack of character sheets just in case. But at the same time, like Kat said, there should be consequences for our actions. If we do something really freaking dumb, we should probably have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I agree. I've already prepared Snowball 2 through 7.
Yeah, I mean, I cut my teeth on World of Darkness systems, D&D 3.5, where death was a lot harder to come back from. It's just things were a lot more lethal. So that's what I'm used to. And it does really ramp up the emotional stakes. And for me, it's made me think a lot about the choices that I make as a character. And I'm not going to lie, if I'm playing a healer, it puts pressure on me. I admit this. But I'm okay with that. I think for me, as somebody who personally has an interest in the study of religion, and as a character who would be interested in the study of religion, I think wrestling with death and life and all these concepts would be really, it would lose a lot of the punch if it was just so simple to come back from.
Okay.
I think the world would be less rich.
Definitely.
Okay.
Maybe try to kind of treat us with kid gloves for the first couple of sessions while we're still getting used to things. And like after a little while, it's like, okay, you guys know what you're doing. Training wheels off.
Yeah.
Plus, then if one of us dies, people actually care because they know our character by now.
Make us care about us before you murder us.
Make us cry.
And we will say thank you.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And Lynn and both of the Allens have played in games that I've run before, and you know that I'm not like a PC assassin. It's
right.
How I like.
That's what they all say.
That's not how I like to play. I honestly don't think I've ever lost a player character in a game. But
you say that now. I am knocking on wood.
I just want to bring it up before we start, basically, because, like Kat said, if something really ridiculous happens, I just want to know if you're going to be making death saves or if you're making knocked out saves.
Let the dice fall where they may.
Okay.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Precisely.
And Gwendy, if you are still awake, please say something in Twitch chat. But if you are sick and asleep in bed, I hope you're resting. You can tell me later.
If you're asleep, we're killing your character.
No,
No,
we need our Corgi family.
that's my brother. Darn it.
It could be your tragic backstory.
Oh God!
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh,
Okay,
goody.
Gwendy's in
I'm
chat.
just saying it wasn't me, though I do have his stuff.
It's how the memory lives on.
Oh no, Gwendy's sick and confused. She's confusing the Alan.
It's okay. It's gonna happen a lot.
Okay, cool. So basically, I thought for this season is that you are all working together. You sort of know each other. We can do an actual meetup, I suppose. But something is wrong, and the unseen activity is increasing on the outskirts of Pugmire.
Good.
Excellent.
So
Well,
those of you who live outside Pugmire might have noticed it, or you all might have been hired as a group to address it. You might be on vacation. Those of you who like to summer in the mountains.
Oh, perfect.
So I wanted to sort of establish how you might go out to, it doesn't even have to be a ruin. You might all be on a camping trip together or just going on a trip. But you've heard that it's not totally safe, and people aren't leaving town as much as they used to. So why are you?
There was definitely some merit to Grimly being on the outside of Pugmire, seeing all this happening, and being like, "Well, this sucks." I'm going to Baguette and Bagel being like, "Hey, could you get some friends? Could we maybe take a look at this? Because I don't want to die." It's
Well,
asking a lot, but
and it's literally part of Baguette's personal mission to protect people from the unseen. So she'd be like, "Yeah, okay, of course." Yeah.
I mean, if someone told Lilia that there was a dangerous thing outside the city and nobody should go, that she's there.
Especially if her favorite stop
extremely
over.
dangerous. You'll
And the
probably
first
die.
people she knew who were going that way, and she went with them.
Listen, dog years are limited, and I'm not going to find new artifacts in the city. So dangerous. Oh well.
You guys are all. You got no survival instinct.
I have
Well,
excellent survival instinct. That's why I'm still alive.
and Baguette's like, there's an afterlife she believes in, and it's part of her mission anyway. So her faith will protect her.
You're all going to protect me, so that works for me.
I smell fear on you.
No, that's just clothes.
I love how Grimly is the tank and he's his own shadow.
I have the thought that immediately formed in my mind was being a stray, I have the ability to rage. And I already have it. It's canon in my head that whenever he's going to rage, it's not going to be like anger rage. It's going to be like when greyhounds get the anxious zoomies and just that's
Yes.
what him raging is.
Oh, destructive terror.
Just
Yeah.
screaming, freaking out, and just going hog wild, dog wild.
I love it. I love it so much.
Screaming, bouncing in circles. Ah!
A danger to himself and those around
Just
him.
stay out of his way.
I love it so much. And Snowball. So were you kind of with Grimly hanging out outside Pugmire when you heard about this, or were you sent from Mao to investigate, or did the Meowfia, do you still have ties with them?
I would say I know a few of the people in the group that I've come to trust. It's and I'm just kind of with them because I have no one else. I don't have my people anymore. So I found the few bit of companions I can trust. So we'll see where that goes.
I just kind of imagine you like following Lilia and Bagel around.
Like, not with them, because Snowball doesn't need us, right?
Right.
They are very inspirational, though.
But like, if Lilia's going to investigate some badness, you're going to be there because you know Lilia and have some experience with her.
Yes, most definitely. One of the few people I can trust right now.
Even if she is a dog.
It's not mutual.
We all have our failings.
No. So Snowball,
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
Snowball, do you like to rob the ruins and everything? Like, do you ransack them the way that it seems like Lilia and Priscilla do?
I wouldn't call it ransacking, more reclaiming, inquiring.
Recovering. That's one of the tenets of man, isn't it?
Yes, probably.
A good thing.
Been a while since Lilia read them, but probably yes.
Yeah, it's in there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, recovering all the pieces.
Yeah, it's just a debate about where we put them afterwards. And in how many additional.
Not near the cat.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Ashley, do you have any thoughts on what Priscilla uses as her magical focus?
Not yet. I need to do a little bit of digging and figure that out.
Okay, that's totally cool. No, well, Alan, one thing that kind of, I don't know. So I know that the Wanderers they're sort of like the monks in Mal, like they get the fast attacks and the extra attacks. One thing that I might end up hacking is giving you claw damage for that, because I really think that they should have it if you are using claws. Like if you're wearing gloves or something, then you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, like how in 5e the tabaxis have claw damage, I think it's only fair that you get it too.
Yeah, I agree. If I'm wearing gloves and all that, as you said, like it makes no sense. But if I'm just like, row.
Yeah.
Geez, I don't know. Just give us extra damage, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
somehow we'll deal with it.
Well, it really surprised me when I was looking at the Wanderers that like they don't have that, and I felt like it was missing. So I don't know. I mean, it's not going to work on things that are invisible or something or non-corporeal, but it would work on like. It seems weird to not give a kitty claws, you know?
True.
Somebody said they do have it, and I just can't read. Thank you, chat. They didn't say that I can't read, but thank you, chat, for saying that they do have it.
Oh.
Well, I will make sure that you have it. Oh, which kitty is that?
This is Oliver.
Hi, Oliver.
Oh.
He's the one who will most likely be antagonizing me the entire stream.
Oh, black
He's
cats
glaring
are
at
so
me.
good.
All right. So it looks like you all should be able to basically fill out everything on your character sheet right now. You're going to be level 1. Alan, your breed, it'll be a little different for you because breed and family are a little different for monarchies. But you know the correct things to put in there, that you're a wanderer and the shadow block. So your proficiency bonus is going to be +2. It's standard array for the things. And do you need me to go over the difference between the stamina points and the stamina die and how they're different than HP?
Stamina is basically like HP, kinda.
So it's tied to your class like HP. And you get a stamina die at each level, and you can basically roll. So like when you sleep, you'll recover, or if Lynn heals you, you'll recover. But if you take a rest, you can have like roll one of your stamina die. So at level 1, you just have 1, but you gain 1 at each level. So you can choose to roll a stamina die, and cross it off to regain like that much stamina. So it becomes a pool that you can use.
Okay.
So, and yes, you can use it kind of whenever. I mean, not in combat, I would hope, but that I will punish you for that. And yeah, so
You said whenever.
whatever. And so you get tricks on here, Alan. That's going to be secrets for you. And Lynn and Ashley are the only ones with spells. Leveling up with spells is a little bit different than in 5e, but hi, Casanova. We can go over that when it comes time to level up. Another thing is that, and this, it's not really like you don't get XP for killing enemies. Pugmire is a lot more based on storytelling. So it'll be more like you'll get a level when you solve a problem.
Yay.
Okay.
And generally, you don't level up until you're back in civilization. The Casanova, oh my god, that face.
I promise this isn't intentional. Continue.
No.
Nice.
But like maybe if you defeat a really tough boss or do something really dramatic, you might level up right there. But usually it's at the end of a quest. So if you're like hired to go investigate a thing, you would level up when you come back from investigating the thing.
Right.
Not like we saw the thing, we're level 2 now. Now we're gonna go back home. Oh, we're level 3. We walked home. Go us. It's not like that. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually my preferred leveling system
Touchstones,
on
milestones.
games. Yeah, milestone is best.
That way we don't have to track XP.
Yeah. And it also reduces like murder hoboing.
Yeah, it kind of when you don't have to worry about XP, then you're not wondering how much XP is that merchant worth.
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Be like, I could hold my temper or I could level.
This is another thing that I just remembered. It's similar to, so it's like inspiration. It's called the Fortune Bowl.
Oh, right.
And Snowball gets to treat the Fortune Bowl a little bit differently. But if any of you do something really cool, I can give you a fortune and you share it in the bowl. Or you can choose to automatically fail a roll to add a fortune to the group Fortune Bowl. You can take fortune from the bowl with consent of the rest of the party to re-roll 1 die. So it doesn't give you advantage, but you can choose it to, just like you ask everybody, dogs work together. So if the party's like, yes, you may do that, then you can re-roll the die. Alan is a cat. Any fortune that you get for doing cool things, you may choose to keep yourself or add to the bowl. You also do not have to ask permission to take from the bowl.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
So much power.
That sounds Very ominous.
Good to know.
So that is fortune. It's sort of like, it's basically inspiration, but it works a little bit differently in that it's, communal. You'll always start each session with 2 in the bowl.
Of course, that's very much an out of character mechanic. So like in character, none of us would know, but I still picture like he decides to keep it for himself and all of us are like, we haven't seen him do anything, but we feel like he's being selfish.
We didn't catch you doing anything
Why,
wrong,
that's
but we
not
know
the
you
cat.
are.
And I just knocked the bowl over.
That's that exact same feeling when you're in the other room and you hear your cat make a noise and you're like,
That's not good.
something happened.
Oh yeah, Casanova tricked you to get out of bed once, right?
Oh yeah, he discovered a new trick which sadly works on both my girlfriend and I, where he will hide in the room out in the hallway behind the clothing hamper, and he will start making sounds like he's hurt or in distress, like meh. And so we'll come out and check on him, and then when we go around the corner, he'll just pounce us. I'm like, why? We're gonna think you're actually hurt and ignore you. He's really smart for a dumb cat.
Let's see. So you will also see that stamina on speed. You have 2 different things for speed. One of them is your 2-leg speed. The other is your 4-leg speed. Running on 4 legs is very, very embarrassing, but it is doable to get you out of a bad situation.
Okay. Let's see. I'm looking things up for myself to see on my tablet as we go.
That's fine. And you each get tricks or secrets and skills relating to your calling, your breed, and your background or family or crew. So it's pretty, I think you get a choice for a couple of them. It's like pick 2 out of this whole bunch of skills.
Yeah.
Fill those in. But it's fairly straightforward. You've all played games.
Yep. Yep.
So this should be the easy part. The other nice thing is that you don't have to keep track of a lot of equipment because the main currency is plastic coins or plastic, and you either have none of it, a little bit of it, some of it, or a lot of it.
Okay.
So you're not dividing up like, I have 50 gold and you have 30 copper and you have 12 silver. And it's just, you've got some plastic, you've got a lot of plastic. Lilia always is probably rolling in plastic.
I have a lot of plastic, it says so. So much I don't even know what to do with it.
You could always
Still mine though.
I love that plastic is our currency
Sure.
because it's like it's not a renewable resource. We don't have plastic.
It says you mine it from the ground.
Well, people,
all of the non-biodegradable crap that we're seasoning the earth with, you're now using it because, dog toys
like, there are landfill sites somewhere that have made some Pugmire noble just the richest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and dogs know that they got to dig stuff up to get rich, so.
Yep.
And the best cat toys are like those plastic milk rings.
Mm-hmm.
This is a post-apocalyptic setting after all, so.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking for my saving throws here.
Those should be, you're proficient in whatever your primary ability is for your
Yeah.
calling. So
Yeah. Intelligence and wisdom. There we go.
Yeah. You're a shepherd. You are both smart and wise.
I don't know.
Like sell a corgi.
I think I'm more wise than smart, but we'll see about that.
Well, you get +2 to wisdom because you're a corgi.
Oh, I know. I figured out where to put things, but we'll We'll see. Definitely smarter and wiser than charismatic per se.
Uh-huh.
But because I have a feeling she gets a little overexcited when she nerds out about things, and maybe
Oh.
that's like not everybody's idea of charismatic.
I don't think we have anyone who's terribly charismatic.
So we'll see.
Well, my charisma is a whopping solid 8, so no.
Nice.
I mean,
People like Lilia in spite of everything she does and everything she says. She's really cute.
Oh no, wait, Lilia's a little bitty dog. She's charismatic,
Yeah,
right?
she's a little baby. She's got a charisma of 16.
oh
Got
god,
puppy dog eyes.
So sweet. Yes, and puppy dog eyes. Basically irresistible.
Yeah, you can do the Puss in Boots thing.
it's going to be dangerous. I love it.
Yeah. And then our wanderer, who is independent, stubborn, and physically powerful. And Alan Snowball, you get to pick your secrets from any of the houses. Oh yeah, and so actually both of the Allens do that. You're both great.
It's true.
Secretly, we're also twins.
You can never tell, but
I knew
we're
it.
twins.
I knew it.
Oh no, that's a bummer.
But
From
To start, I have to pick either rage or unarmored defense, not both.
oh yeah.
Ooh, okay.
sorry, I'm kind of old, so you can see that my glasses are out of date. So if I want to read something up close, my I have to do this with my glasses. So let's see.
It's okay. Aside from other Alan, there's going to be a lot of glasses adjustments made, I can imagine. So
Yep.
Alan, do you wear contacts?
Nope.
Lucky
this good vision.
Lucky cat, thank you.
dog.
Oh, he's right.
Well, you know how cats can see in the dark and everything. So
It's true.
I'm trying to see in here because I know how we do it in other systems. But I'm trying to see where we figure out our initiative.
Oh, okay. I can tell you that. So that is based on your deck.
Okay. That makes sense. I just wanted to make sure. And defense is
I apologize. I need to step away from the keyboard for just a minute.
That's fine.
First,
So defense is 10 plus your dex bonus. Unless you have like an armor proficiency of some kind and are wearing that, then it's whatever the armor gives you.
have an armor proficiency because I thought it was more important to start with prayers to man.
It's all right. I don't think as a stray, I don't believe I start with armor, and I don't know if I can start with armor. So I'm just going in with my t-shirt and my jams, and that's it.
We're going to be so prepared to go deal with the unseen. It's going to be
right.
You are. Well, I feel like as a stray, you don't really need armor, right?
I mean, no, that's why I'm a merchant. I'm not used to wearing armor. I wear nice clothes that get very dirty very fast.
Yeah, I like, so while everybody is working on their characters, I can just talk to chat and put in chat if you had questions about Pugmire or monarchies or cats or dogs, because I like to talk about them. I will totally tell you like how many nipples cats have, for example.
wow.
Sorry, I was reading. Repeat that?
Did we?
Yeah, how many is it?
8. They have 8 nipples.
Oh,
Is that
more you know.
more nipples or fewer nipples than dogs? Yes, my cavalier seems to have infinite nipples.
The more you know.
The less you want.
So this
Yeah.
is an educational stream.
Yes.
I feel bad for my long-haired cat. He has bald spots around only one nipple.
Oh,
For some reason, we don't know
it
why.
must be so cold.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
No clue why.
Uh, Onyx Path is already regretting giving us the stream. Gwendy says dogs have 8 to 10 nipples depending on the dog. See, it's educational, y'all. Aren't you glad you stopped by Paws and Claws?
I now feel better because I now know that Spud does not have an excess of nipples. Thank you, Wendy. This is a good experience.
Lord. Education and entertainment.
It's edutainment.
So, no, I like how dog strays are barbarians and cat strays are monks. I don't know why I like that. So, and they're not like exactly, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
And I just very much enjoy that. And also in Mao, we don't have cat magicians, but you can basically pick if you want to. All cats can access magic. So like Snowball could do spells even if he wanted to. Even though he's not a spellcaster, he could learn a few spells if he decides to go that way, because all cats are innately magical. But you can sort of decide if you want to go the academic wizardy way or the drawing on your innate magical cat bloodline way. So if you're really tied to being a sorcerer or a wizard from 5e, you can do that as a kid.
So since I took as one of my tricks prayers to man, if I'm looking at this correctly, that means that I can go ahead and pick spells right away.
Yeah.
So it seems probably a good idea to make one of them cure wounds.
I think so, probably, yeah.
Not bad to have, honestly.
Yeah. And for my other first level spell, I was kind of torn, but I'm thinking maybe protection from evil would be a good one. Anybody have thoughts? Because I'm listening to everyone's backgrounds and inclinations, and if we're going off to deal with the unseen,
Is protection from evil still really expensive to cast in Pugmire?
I'm not sure.
Oh, my
I don't
cleric
know.
experience is D&D, and protection from evil is good, therefore it's spendy.
Let me take a look and see. I think it basically.
Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Well,
Thank you.
We're just picking spells.
I thought I would leave it up to.
I think you're fine. It's just that it's concentration, so it would take your bonus action, but that's all.
Felt like that might be a good choice. And something that would go along with her ideal of, keeping people safe.
I think that definitely suits her character, and I think it will be useful for everyone.
I'm calling it a hunch.
I'll never admit it, but I'm quietly thankful.
That's fair.
I'm trying to be useful. I just want to be useful.
And you've got the 3 basic spells that come with first
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So bless Bane, Sacred Flame, and Spare the Dying.
Nice. So you are all spelled up, my dear.
Well, because I am a nerd as well as a geek in
Uh-huh.
real life. So you gave me a book to study.
That's fair.
So for those of you who did not read Mao because you were dogs and not cats, and those of you who are in chat, there's a very fun thing about cat magic in that That is not true for dog magic. Dog magic either, it works or it doesn't. But for cat magic, basically, if you roll a 20 or a 1, your magic blows up in your face.
It's
Oh,
really great.
I think it does exactly what you meant it to.
It's pretty much everything you could want.
I love it.
Now, can it hurt us?
Oh, cat magic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly what I hear.
Let the Meowfia
Like-
have him.
Like if it
Let 'em
blows
take
up in your face, it will definitely hurt you or your friends. Because it's
Thank
just too
God.
powerful. So
There's the kaboom. There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
kaboom. Yes. I approve.
Snowball Allen and I were playing a Warhammer game where we were with an elf who was healing us and kept rolling crit successes on his heals and was so tied into his magic that he started bleeding from all of his orifices.
Good old Warhammer.
You were getting better while he was
I mean,
dying.
it's evocative.
Yeah. It's all right. We actually had our elf in our Warhammer game try to heal someone. They failed the roll and they got stunned by God. It was just like, no, that's not healing, I don't think.
So in a D&D game, we had 3 halflings each in turn attempt surgery on a centaur, which was getting more and more wounded
Oh no.
over the course of like 4 hours of horrible blood loss.
Oh,
But every character with any healing magic, which somehow I forget how wasn't working that day, and every character with medicine skill and a healer's kit, until the centaur got up on its 2 working legs and tried to flee from us.
Oh
oh.
no. That's terrible.
So, weird question, more of a technical question than anything.
Yes.
On these character sheets, is attack the bonus to attack when you
Right.
roll an attack? And
That's
then
right.
roll as the number you roll, damage is the damage modifier?
I'm gonna say roll is the die that you roll. Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense. Yeah,
I thought so.
and the attack is like your plus to hit, and then the damage is the your damage bonus, and then type or quality would be like range, piercing, bludgeoning,
Yeah.
acid.
Cool.
Looking at that section.
For friends in chat, we've shared tips out, but we do have a Patreon if you are loving what you're seeing. I know character creation isn't the most fun, but next week we will be adventuring and knock on wood, have fewer technical difficulties so we can just dive right in and pounce on the unseen and defeat it.
This was
Thank
the
goodness.
learning session.
Yes.
We're all learning and growing together.
The real treasure was the friendship made along the way.
Also, the 17 artifacts that we found in the ruins. I mean,
Yes.
15.
Labeled
that-
friendship.
Sorry, 14.
That's what we call acceptable losses.
Again?
No, it's not.
What we call collateral damage.
It's business.
It's what we call let the Meowfia take him.
You have exactly until the Mafia show up to become friends with us. Otherwise, you're done for.
Oh boy.
Good to know.
Oh, Lilia, which noble family are you part of? Is there a Cavalier family, or are you from the Pug family, the Staffordshire? There's a lot.
Yeah, I think we might be like a minor branch of the Spaniel family.
Okay,
That seems like a noble family to me.
it's a
Founded by your ancestor Charles.
Perfect.
A former king of Pugmire, yes.
There we go. You know, I was going to give Grimly a longsword because I like swords, but I think to start, I need to give him a flail just so I can say he flails.
There's no better weapon for a 7-foot-tall noodle crazying around a field.
Noodle.
Oh, that's just the mental image of just this really like noodle thin dog wiggling around while his flails wiggling around is.
His rage is just zoomies. That's all I can picture now.
100%.
Yep. Let's see. I think Baguette's got a mace for those rare times when she needs it, but she's not necessarily good with it.
I have a dagger. I mean, I'm little enough that it probably looks like a short sword, but it's not. It's a knife. I would like to upgrade one day.
I think we can arrange that one day. You might find one.
Okay, so weirdly, I can't use a short sword, but I can use a great club.
Oh, because that's a simple weapon.
Yeah.
Can you use a rapier?
No. Great club it is.
You're a teeny little dog with a great club.
Heck yeah.
I love it.
So I love that it's like dogs range in height from 4 to 7.5 feet tall.
Yep, down here at the 4 foot.
Cats range from 5 to 6.5 feet tall.
Oh no, I'm shorter than the cat.
That's fabulous.
You can use a spear or a dagger.
I mean, I'm sticking with my dagger for now, but I'm kind of charmed by the idea of a hand axe at some point.
Oh, yeah.
They are very punchy.
Yes.
Oh, kitty.
This is Henry.
Hi, Henry.
Henry is 20.
So cute.
I
God,
need a
everyone
freaking dog.
here has such cuddly cats, but if I pick up Casanova for more than 10 seconds, it just starts trying to gnaw on my hand. Not in like an angry way, just in like a feels like gnawing way.
All right. Well, I think we are getting about close to that time. So, did any of you, even though we started late, but they probably want us off on time.
I think I've got my skills picked.
Okay. Did anybody have questions before we let our wonderful audience? Thank you for sticking with us. We are sorry we were kind of disasters today.
First stream fun every time.
Thank you.
Did any of you have questions for me or about your character sheets before we reintroduce ourselves and say what we do and where to find us?
I feel like most of the gameplay related ones will just work out in session, so I'm good.
Same.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Okay, awesome. Well, I want to say thank you all for coming to watch Paws and Claws, the Lost Tales of Pugmire. And let's reintroduce ourselves, say what you do and where we find you, starting with Lynn.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lynn Meyer. I am a writer. You can find me on DM's Guild. You know me best from Uncaged. You'll find me in lots of various places, including an upcoming guest stream on Uncaged Live and one secret one which hasn't been announced yet. So.
And now, Alan Johnson.
Oh, well, hi. I'm Alan Johnson again. You can find me on Twitter at @NarlorJenkins. I'm going to be having some other stuff coming out for some anthologies coming up soon, so that'll be on DM's Guild. And yeah, thank you for tuning in.
And now our other Alan.
I'm Alan Engelson. Feel free and tweet at me at wildwolf_8. I'm not really a professional in this. I just like games.
Well, you're a professional now.
And Alan was our secret Twitter list player for all of you who've been following our Twitter. And Kat.
Yeah, I'm still Kat, still playing a dog. Still funny. You can at me on Twitter as @perpetualgloom. You should especially do so if you have cute puppy pictures to share with me, because there's never a bad time. I'm a writer. I have lots of stuff on the DMs Guild as Catherine Evans. I have some stuff on Drive-Thru RPG as Catherine Evans. And as of Saturday, I will have a silent stream, which is called Athens, Ohio, and is definitely not a rip-off mashup of American Gods and Wicked and Divine. Definitely not completely original content. You should watch it and see how original it is.
So excited.
That's me.
Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley May. I'm a writer over on the Dungeon Masters Guild. You can go check out some of my works like Festivals, Feasts, and Fairs or The Lover's Handbook. You can also find me on Twitter at Ashley May Writes and back here every Tuesday.
And I'm going to give a plug to Gwendy B, who you didn't get to meet on stream today, but she was in the chat. She is the Get Brother. You can see her on Twitter at Gwendy B. She is a phenomenal artist from the Uncaged Anthology, and she did the cover of, I believe it's Fiendish Facts. Anyway, look at her Twitter. She's really, really talented. And I am Jessica Markram. You can see me on Twitter at Miss_Jess03. I write for DM's Guild and I create games on Itch. I'm an Uncaged writer and I created the College of Caterwauling for all of your Tabaxi bards out there. I really like dogs and cats. So come check me out and donate to our Patreon. And we could use, the love. And we love you being here. Oh, sorry. It's Devil's Advocate. Sorry, Gwendy. But yes, thank you so much for coming. And we will be here every Tuesday. Same time, same channel. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye,
you.
friends.
Bye.
Bye.